Welcome back to video number 2. The third savings tool is your money market account. Like, by definition, it's an account that usually has a minimum balance and requires balance requirements and has tiered interest rates. So, meaning, let's say $0 to $500, it might be 1% interest. $600 to $1,500, you might get 5% interest. And the higher you go up, the more interest you earn. So that's what it's meant by the tiered interest, but it depends on the account balance lots of times. So the more money you got, the more interest you'll earn, but it's tiered. It goes up periodically by the money amounts you have in there. It's less liquidable than checkings and savings, and usually you have a minimum balance and transaction limits, just like a savings account. Oop, sorry. Some more here. Usually have to deposit a minimum of $1,000 to get it going, similar to a savings account, but this does earn higher interest. But the trade-off is you can't have as much access to this money compared to a savings. CD means certificate of deposit. Amount, that's basically an account where you give the bank money, a certain amount of money. Ooh, my hair. Certain amount of money, and you cannot have access to it for a certain period of time. You might give them $1,000, and it might be a 12-month CD. Basically, you're giving the bank $1,000. They're going to give you a decent interest rate, but you can't touch that money for 12 months. Okay. If you do need to get at that money, they will penalize you, but it's the least liquid of the savings tool, but it has the highest reward. You get the most payback for it. But a con or a bad thing about it is you can't touch your money for that. You see this a lot of older people that don't spend a lot of money. And CD amounts could be $100 to $500 to $1,000 to $10,000 to $5,000. Lots of times people just let them sit and earn interest and make some money that way. So that's just kind of what it talks about here. So basically, when you're trying to figure out, again, what type of savings tool you should use with some money you want to put into use a savings tool for, you got to first, I think liquidity. All right. How often are you going to use your money? That goes with liquidity. Are you going to need it soon? And then interest. What are you getting back? Okay. If the interest is low, then just use a checking account or savings where you can get at it. But if you can get by and want to gain some interest, go to a money market or a CD. They're fairly common. So think of these things when deciding, and a lot of it comes down to what your goal is. When do you need that money? That'll determine what savings tool you would use. Here you can look at this, trying to figure out, Avery's goal is to create an emergency fund. So she should use a savings account. Car within a year. This guy wants a car within a year, money market, because he's going to keep adding to it, and the higher he gets up there, the more interest he gets. And that's basically right there what we're talking about. Here's liquidity. Checking is the most liquidable, savings, money market, and CD. You should know this. There's trade-offs that go with each. Higher interest rates are a trade-off for lower liquidity. That's a great question. Higher interest rates are a trade-off for lower liquidity. So here you go. Thanks for watching. Wash your hands.